Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Uncovering Greatness podcast. As always, I am your host, Sully, and today I am joined by Nicole Mitchell. Nicole is the lead processor. I always say lead, the only processor. She is the processor at Uncovering Greatness, and what that means is she helps you get out of the way of you so you can be more, do more, and have more. Nicole, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Sully?
Good, thank you. Would you say you're a good communicator?
No.
Why?
Why? I have improved my communication over the years, but I still
Yeah.
probably could get a lot better. So yeah, that's why I'd say no, because I know I can get better.
I appreciate that honesty. Because I feel like we now live in a world where people are, the things they're communicating to themselves around that question is lies. A lot of people are like, not majority, generalization, another word we need to retire on this podcast. But a lot of people will probably answer that, yeah, I'm a good communicator, I communicate well.
And this is where it's like, for me, communication is, are you able to get people to hear you, to see you, to understand you?
Okay, so is that a difference between communication and effective communication?
Well, what is communication? So let's read the definition from Alan.
Yes, please.
Okay, so communication is the action of propelling an idea or thing from an origination point across a space to an arrival point with the purpose of bringing into being at the arrival point a comprehension of that which was propelled from the origination point. So if I am propelling an idea across space to you, you need to be able to understand what I have.
What you've communicated. I need to be able to comprehend it.
Correct. Okay, to make known, to impart, to have an interchange as of ideas, to express oneself in such a way that one is readily and clearly understood. How many people today are propelling their stuff across the space and nobody on the other side understands what they are saying?
Too many people. It's just way too many people.
The single most important skill for creating great futures, great opportunities, great relationships, and great friends. The tool for directing positive life force particles to produce what you want out of life. And I don't think most people are doing that. I don't think people are producing what they want out of life.
Yeah, I mean, so if I think about it just from like a social media perspective, I don't think so I put out a post. I'm thinking about what I want you to feel and comprehend from said post.
Correct.
I then get back communication that has nothing to do with what I've just posted. So now I'm sitting there having to decipher this hidden code that you've now put there. So it's because it's, as you're saying, it's clear that people don't know what they want out of their lives. So their communication is just completely unutterly. Would you say that especially in this day and age, people are just trying to communicate for the sake of communicating?
No, they're not trying to communicate.
Okay.
Let's be clear. They are not trying to get their idea or points across so that you understand.
Ah, okay.
Most people are communicating, and I say most people are speaking to speak. They are not speaking to communicate.
Yeah, that's true.
So if I bombard the universe with social media, I am communicating with everybody.
Are you?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
That's what people think. Because people will tell you, oh, I'm selling. I've posted my stuff all over social media.
Yeah.
That's not selling.
It is not.
That is not communicating with people.
Nope.
That is not, what are you making sure that people actually hear what you have to say?
Are you sure that they understand what you say?
Correct.
And if you don't know what it
Did
is.
people even read the post?
Yeah. That's how sometimes I feel. I'm like, clearly you didn't read the post. You just saw somebody, you didn't like a few words, and you said, I'm coming at this. And it's like, I don't understand what you say.
And that's where communication is so important, because so I just had a client at the moment, and my advice to them is go and say a client. There have been many clients. I give this advice to go and find 5 people and ask them 5 questions.
Okay.
Every day for 2 weeks. The average person cannot do that.
No, I was just thinking about it myself.
Find 5 people on a daily basis and ask them 5 questions.
5 different people.
5 different
So I
people.
got asked 25 questions.
So you got to ask 25 questions in one day.
Sure. Okay.
It's very simple.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
What did you do today?
Yeah, I've been, doing reports on my computer.
Are you cooking tonight?
Probably not.
You go to gym this morning.
I did.
Enjoy it.
I did, actually.
No, you got 5.
That was 5 questions. That was very challenging for you.
It was. It was, because I had to think about, should I connect these questions? No, I don't want to connect them because it might get too repetitive and boring. And then I was like, a lot of thoughts were going through my head and about
Instead
asking
of,
questions.
hey, Sully, how are you?
Good, thanks to you.
Well, I'm good, thank you. How was did you sleep well?
I did, thanks. And you?
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't great. How were the kids this morning?
Yeah, no problem. They were good.
And the drive to school?
It was quite simple. No stress this morning.
And what subjects do the kids have today?
They got science and maths. Yeah.
Those 5 questions. But we spend all this time trying to, I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want them to think that I'm sort of interrogating them. I don't want to come across like this. I don't want people to think I'm selling to them.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what are you communicating? Like, the number of people that I work with that'll say to me, but I don't know what to say.
Yeah, that's...
It's like, well, ask the question and then you'll find out what to say.
100%. Yeah, you can't... That's the only way you'll know.
And this is where I say people are waiting to speak, not to communicate and connect.
Okay.
So you will let's say you tell me about the kids' sports day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're going on about you ran the race and you tripped and you came third, but when and I'm and I can't wait until you finish.
Yeah.
Instead of, oh, wow, that must have been quite a journey when you almost tripped. What happened?
I had the floor was uneven, the grass.
Okay, and did it upset you that you didn't win? What happened next?
No, I was just happy that I didn't fall.
And were the kids excited you came third?
They actually were. They were quite pumped. It was pretty cool.
Okay, so now what I've done, I've connected with you because now you're actually telling me how you feel. You feel heard. You feel like, oh, this person actually cares about me. I didn't interrogate you.
No.
But I just connected with you. Whereas if I'm already going, when my kids were that age and I ran the parents' race, there was this one mother. Who's it then becoming?
It's about you.
All about me.
Yeah.
I'm not actually communicating with you. I'm vomiting crap all over you that you didn't even want to know.
Yeah. I mean, you'll get your opportunity, right? If you authentically, genuinely want to connect with somebody, like you're saying, you're asking me those questions and you're getting to know more than just about the weekend or about the race. Now I'm telling you how I feel. I'm telling you how the kids felt. I'm telling you, all of a sudden, there's way more things versus when you are just wanting to communicate. Like, oh, you said sports day. I'm ready.
Vomit all over.
I'm ready to tell you about all the sports days I've been to, and I'm like, oh man, this this conversation sucked. You leave there feeling way more drained
Correct.
than anything else. Yeah, I get that.
And this is where communication is so important, because are you connecting with people? Are you finding out what people want? And are you helping them get it? Because that is the art of sales. That is the art of communicating. But most people are not doing that. They just want to tell you their stuff.
Yeah, it's funny. I think somebody asked Barry yesterday at Ignite Your Sales, how do you find out what people want?
You ask.
Barry's not. He tries not to be an offensive person, but the look on his face was like, I just said it 2 minutes ago. I just said this. And for me, it was a great realization of people don't even, they get so stuck in what they want to communicate that they're not even present enough to understand that this happened 2 minutes ago, because I needed to get my question off, or
I was so busy wanting to ask my question, I didn't hear what you said, and you already answered my question. But it's not actually that I wanted to ask my question. I want you to see me. I'm over here. I'm, in the room.
Yo, you know how many times I've done that in my marriage? I'm not even. My wife is talking. I'm still stuck on that first thing she said, because I want to talk about that. And she tells me a whole bunch of important things. Yeah, and I tell you my thing, and then the next day happens. Did you get the stays off? What stays off? I asked you to get. I just want to communicate.
Yeah. I just wanted to tell, not to communicate. I just wanted to tell you exactly what I thought of that comment, because da-da-da-da-da-da.
And that happens. We see that in terms of like events and things like that, and on teams. I think one of the best places to see how communication flows is probably UGE as well. The ultimate greatness, that 5-day when you put people on a team, communication lines go crazy. Sorry,
Interesting.
I feel like I just gave you flashbacks.
And it's quite fascinating to see how, like, I have had UGEs where I have had to lose my temper and bang on the table to actually get through to somebody to listen, because they were so busy focused on why they were right and why this and why that. And I literally, in order to get through to them, I had to like bang on the table and yell at them and literally propel that idea from my point to their point with so much force that I had to get through all their stuff. And they actually, like, you could see them go, hold on, what just happened? Oh, wow, I haven't been listening.
Yeah.
And that is where it is, when you are communicating, you are propelling an idea or a thing from here to the origination point to the arrival point across a space. And there has to be enough force on it that it arrives. Because if I go, and you're on the other side of the room, there's not enough force on it that you can even hear me.
No. And that means if I can't hear you, I can't understand you.
There's no connection, there's no communication.
Yeah.
My idea, thought thing has not gone from one side of the room to the other, because I didn't put enough force behind it for it to arrive there.
And sometimes that does have to happen, right? In terms of like communication. So somehow, somewhere, Barry has infiltrated that meeting we had 2 years ago. I don't know why he brought it back into my subconscious. I was done with it. There's a lot of force that was needed to communicate something. Perhaps not needed.
I was going to say, he communicated with too much force.
Too easy. They can't. So, and the reason why I asked that is because I feel like this generalization can go across, right? And I remember my mother always used to say this: you only do things when I yell at you. When I shout at you is when you do the thing.
Or why do I have to yell at you?
Why do I have to get angry for you to do? Yeah. And sometimes
it wasn't just your house.
Well, you've had to yell at me to get me to do stuff at work. So this has been my life's journey.
I know, I was meaning it happened in my house too.
Because
She said, why do you only do things when I yell?
I'm scared. But sometimes that it's not the most optimal thing because, like, for example, the idea may not get I may not completely understand, right? Because you're using way too much force to communicate something to me. Is
Correct.
that could that happen where it's like, now I'm just doing something out of the fear of doing it because you slapped the table, and now I'm terrified because I don't want you to be angry, so I do it and I do it wrong because I'm just focused on. I probably only heard half of what you said because anger kicked in, and then I shut up.
And this is where it's like, are you aware of what you are communicating? How much force do you have? Although there's so many, and this is such a massive topic, communication. Yeah. So I was laughing when you're like, oh, communication.
Easy.
Like, oh. And there is so much behind it, but the bottom line is the average person today is not communicating. They are rambling. They are vomiting stuff all over you. They are not actually connecting with you to find out what you want, what you need, how can they help you. And I mean, we see it all the times in our rooms. People come in and go, what do you want me to do? And you're like, and you can't actually think because there's so much stuff happening. I can't tell you what I need you to do.
Yeah.
But if somebody comes and says, do you want me to take flip charts down? I go, no, but can you please go get the flip chart markers? Or can you do X? Because they're not projecting all their stuff onto me. They're communicating, I'm here to help you.
Yeah. And you sort of giving a clear idea of what you want to do. Can I take the flip? Would you like me to take the flip charts down? Versus what do you want me to do? Friggin' hell, there's so many things that I want you to do.
And I can't actually think of what I need you to do, so best, like, nothing.
Just leave it.
Leave me alone. Whereas when somebody directs the flow of force towards a specific outcome, so do you want me to take the flip charts down? I'm going, no, but can you collect all the press stick?
Yeah. It allows you to flow with it better than
Correct.
What do you want me to do? Because then now you're just stuck. That's interesting. Do you think now, especially with so now with social media, but also with AI, AI being able to, okay, tell me about it. I don't even have to finish the question. Tell me about what was it, that communication that you gave to the audience around social media and AI?
The problem, it is such a good tool that can be used to improve communication, to improve things. The problem is people are going to rely on it. And therefore, their ability to communicate is going to go down. I just see it in the world today. As kids, when we had to communicate, there was not you sit on your cell phone at dinner and you communicate via cell phone. You had to sit at the dinner table, and if you wanted something, you had to use your words, your voice. You had to be able to, and I see it today. I say to my girls, they'll say, oh, I spoke to so-and-so. And Barry will go, did you message them or did you actually speak to them? No, I messaged them. Did you voice note them or did you type a message? No, I typed it. Well, then you didn't speak to them. You sent them a typed message.
Key, actually. That's it. Because you're changing the definition of the word.
Well, you're not using, you don't understand
You
the word.
You saying speaking, but you've not spoken a word. You typed everything. And that's important, actually.
And so, one of the things that we were very, and still very today is he'll say to our girls, pick up the phone. No, I'll just message. No, you pick up the phone and you phone them and you speak to them and you use your mouth.
You use words.
You use words. But it's easy to type a message because I'm not in front of you. I don't have to. And this is where people use technology incorrectly, because I can say things to you over message that I would never dare say to your face.
Oh, definitely.
Because why? I don't have to confront you. I don't have to deal with you. I can deal with the screen. I don't see you, so I can say whatever I want.
Yeah. I can hide behind that.
And I can hide behind my phone, and then, oh, you know, my sister sent the message, not me.
It was a butt dial. It was a butt type. I sat on my phone and it typed it. Oh, that was very advanced. I'm like, you think I'm an idiot? I know you typed that.
And this is where you're going, I know you typed it. And it may be genuine that, you know, my brother or my sister or somebody or a friend took my phone and typed the message. We actually don't know.
Yeah.
And that's where the problem with communication, who is communicating with you? And this is where you see on social media, so many people are being, I say, abused because in various ways, shapes and forms, because they don't actually know who's on the other end of the phone or the other end of the social media or the other end of Facebook.
I mean, that's so that now that you just said that, I mean, we were talking about it a while ago, that show, Adolescence. It's a perfect example of that. Even though it's people who know each other, they go to the same school, but majority of what happened, or at least the way I saw it, was online communication that led to the situation that took place. I don't want to say maybe you didn't watch it or whatever. That's the way I was looking at it, because I was like, you wouldn't say that to this person. You wouldn't communicate that to them.
You wouldn't say that face to face.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I had it at school where, with my girls, is that some kids sent this message that was like, if he had repeated those words in front of any parent, they would have literally like clapped him on the ear. And the language in the message was horrendous. And of course, I phoned the mother, and the mother was like, prove it was my son. My son wouldn't do that. My son wouldn't send a message like that. Your daughter must have provoked him. And yet she's probably correct. Her son wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
Because he didn't say it. He typed a flipping message.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't say those words in front of anybody.
No. You're right, actually. You're right in all the areas of what you just said.
And I'm like, and so we go, of course your son said that. But no, he didn't actually say that. He typed it. And he probably wouldn't say that in front of an adult.
No.
And that's where, like that movie in terms of, or that series of Adolescence, is the whole concept behind it is that you can't see what is actually happening. So kids playing computer games, you can't actually see who they're on, who they're playing computer games with. You can't see the violence. You can't see all the stuff. You can't see what's happening to them mentally.
You can't.
And so, whereas when you have a conversation with somebody and you are talking to them, you will see what happens to their emotional state. You will see,
How it actually... Yeah.
You will see the tears well up in their eyes. You will see how they actually are responding to what you are saying.
Yeah.
And then you will think twice about it. But when you're hiding behind your phone and you're just typing messages of, you're a this, you're a that, you're not a nice person and I don't like you, you have no concept of the effects of what you're actually sending across a space.
Yeah, because I can just type it and put it down. I can flip it down like this, literally.
And then I can ignore you for the
I can
next
block
month.
you.
And block you.
I can never speak to you again, but what I communicated to you was what I wanted to communicate, and it's game over.
And this is where people like, oh, I don't understand. You're so nice to me. You're always so loving and caring. But then when we go on a date, you're like an idiot. and people go,
Yeah.
no, on the message,
I'm great.
I'm great. But I don't actually know how to show you that affection when I'm sitting with you. And that's where people get it wrong, is because, no, on the phone, it's ChatGPT that's sending you the messages. It's not me that's sending them.
I just copy and paste. Copy and paste. Oh, man. I just had there's another show that you should check out. I can't remember. I'll tell you afterwards when I find it out. But it's basically about these, child influencers, children that are influencers on YouTube and stuff like that. And like because you're speaking about like not knowing who's on the other side of this communication. And it's so crazy. So like I think the oldest one was I think 10 or 11. These kids had massive followings, 1.5 million subscribers or whatever. And they discovered that 85% of the people that follow these kids are male adults. And I was like, you don't know, you wouldn't know that. The only way you would know that is by going into the analytics.
Yeah.
But from what you see, and because you would perceive it as, well, it's a child, so they're communicating with other children. But that's not the world that we live in anymore. The world is so intertwined because of social media and technology that anybody can follow anybody and you would not know. And you having now adults communicating things or typing things to children that they don't understand.
But also, ChatGPT can dumb down language, respond to a child, a 6-year-old like this, and now children think they're communicating with children, and they're not. They're communicating with
Whoa!
anybody or anything, and you don't actually know because you can't see the other side.
Oh.
And that's the problem with communication, is that communication is me connecting with you, propelling the idea, and I'm very clear where it landed, who it landed with, what happened.
You understood it, you comprehended it.
So I'll give you a very simple communication. I go to my favorite supermarket, and the cashier says, "Would you like a shopping bag?" And I say, "No, thank you." And they scan the bag anyway. Like that, there is no communication. My no thank you did not land with them. They have not been ready to receive a communication. So technically, we didn't actually communicate. We sent words into space, and you never heard and understood me.
See, now you got me feeling bad now.
So, and that is where, for me, when I'm communicating, I say, "Good morning, Sully. Thank you, but no, I do not want a bag, Sully." And because I've used your name, chances are you will be way more present and you'll go, "Oh," because I had to put a little bit more force behind it to say no.
And you're not being rude. You're
I'm
still
not
being
being
incredibly
rude. I'm
polite.
still being polite, and I'm going, and I'm using your name, and I'm connecting with you, and I'm making sure that my idea and my things are landing on you.
Yeah, that's such a great point because like so if you use the amount of force of, "No, thank you," it's technically, it's not that person's fault because they didn't hear you because you communicated.
But they're also not willing to receive already. So they're not being present to, are you actually responding?
Yes.
And
even if it
that's
was
where-
soft or not.
Even if it's soft or not. So, and this is why it's such a big topic, because there's so much behind it. But when you get to a point where you can communicate well with people, you can communicate what you want, where you want it, how you want it to anyone.
At any time.
Correct.
That's crazy.
So communication is the ability to say what you want when you want it. And most people are blubbering all the time, and they think they're communicating. They're not.
You're just making noise.
Correct.
That's fair. And I think that's my take, is that that's a lot of social media. A lot of social media is just noise. Obviously there's a lot of great stuff that's out there. Like, I mean, on Facebook alone, there's this page called the Uncovering Greatness page on Facebook. It's an amazing page. A lot of great content. This Nicole Mitchell's page, great content when she gets it. Barry Mitchell. There's a lot of great pages. But then there's the other ones where you just like, that was a waste of my time.
Oh, we were talking about clickbait.
Yeah. People love clickbait. I fall for clickbaits a lot as well.
But it's, what are you communicating? And people fall for, oh, this is going to be great. And
Yeah.
like watch to the end, and then you
I get to the end and do you know how many times I've watched to the end and I was like,
And
are you
nothing
serious? Are you serious?
Nothing happens, and you're
Are you
like,
kidding me? Wow. Well done. I have to give you credit for that because if we're honest, your communication
you got me to do what I needed to do. What you wanted me to do.
Yeah.
Correct.
And that's fundamentally the art of a good communicator.
Because they got what they wanted.
Yeah. That's crazy. Any final thoughts before we wrap up this very large topic?
I'll go back to that. Can you take some time and go and ask 5 people 5 questions? And do that, even if you do it for 5 days. I guarantee you, it will challenge you. But your communication will improve.
I mean, it challenged me and I know you. Now you're asking me to go ask 5 people. Then I'm like, I don't know 5 people. Where am I going to find these 5 people?
Well, stop at the supermarket and buy a loaf of bread at the Pick and Pay, and then go to the Checkers across the road and buy a thing of milk, and then go to the Woolworths.
And now I found 5 people.
You find 5 people because there's a person in the queue in front of you, there's a cashier, there's a packer, and you do that at 2 or 3 different stores. You found 5 people.
Yeah.
It's easy to find people. We only have so many billion.
Yeah, there's only 7 billion of them and 56 million in South Africa.
But if you go and ask people 5 questions, I can guarantee you'll be surprised at the responses you get.
True story. And also, just to clarify that, don't just run up on people and start asking them questions. I think that
if you go to people and say, I've been given an exercise to do, I have to ask 5 people 5 questions. Can I ask you 5 questions? People go, yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah, they want to participate in that.
Yeah, let me.
Yeah. And you can do it with the cashier as well, because you've got time.
Correct.
You actually have 2 people. You have the cashier and you have.
Do you guys often work together? How long? How long's your shift? How long have you been here at the Pick and Pay? What time do you knock off? What's your favorite product? Have you seen any of the specials recently?
Done.
It was more than 5.
Easy.
But people get so lost in, what am I going to ask them? And that's how you get better, is you find 5 people, ask them 5 questions.
Yeah, and I think that that exercise also just works brilliantly for salespeople. If you want to learn how to communicate better and connect better with people, do the exercise. 5 people, 5 questions. And I think I should also do it in the way that Nicole actually said. I've been given this task of doing this, and would you help me out? I think that makes it 10 times easier for you, actually. My thoughts. Thank you, everybody, for watching. This has been the Uncovering Greatness podcast. Don't forget, on the 8th of May, we have Entrepreneur Hangouts happening at the Fat Ginger in Edenvale. $550 gets you in full breakfast, 2.5 hours of teaching and connecting with other business owners and entrepreneurs who are from our community, who have come to our events and are just, always looking to improve and get better and learn. I think that's most importantly what they're trying to do. So please do join us. We would love to see you guys there. But until then, we will see you guys next week on the Uncovering Greatness podcast.
Don't forget to like, share, and comment.
There we go. Thanks, Nicole. Thank you guys for watching. We hope this communication lands.
Bye.